Myles Simmons, PFT, ProFootballTalk.com, is up on Cofield and Company. We're out here at the NBA Summer League talking some NFL. Of course, why not, right? Chargers are already starting to report with their rookies. Raiders are in with the rookies in 2 days. Camps are mostly opening around the 23rd, so NFL is here. I saw you write a quick piece on PFT about Randy Moss, who is back from health problems, and talking about Tyreek Hill. And I don't like Randy Moss. Okay. So I try to be objective. No, I just don't. I don't know that he's wrong on what he was saying about Tyreek Hill. You can explain this. I do think Tyreek Hill potentially has a lot left in his career, but I say that knowing that he's also a lunatic and his career could end like Antonio Brown. So tell people what Moss was saying about Tyreek Hill.
Well, Randy Moss, he was at an event in Miami because his restaurant is now partnered with the Dolphins, and they're going to have some some concession stands at Hard Rock Stadium for Dolphins games. Really cool, whatever. And so a reporter for the South Florida Sun-Sentinel, I believe, was asking him, where do you see yourself in terms of the all-time great wide receivers? And Randy Moss goes, well, if I'm giving you the political answer, I'm going to say Jerry Rice. But if we're being real, and, who's somebody who's going to, beat your ass all day, I believe is paraphrasing, but he did basically say that. He goes, then it's me. And so then the reporter asks, well, what about Tyreek Hill? Where do you see him on the list of all-time greats? And Randy Moss goes, all-time greats? Nowhere. But the present day, let's call him, he's top 5. And I mean, I saw that quote and I was like, damn, nowhere. But if you then go look at the numbers, Tyreek Hill is 42nd all time when it comes to receiving yards. And if you think about it this way, he's playing in an era where there are more receiving yards than ever before, right? There's more quarterback passing than ever before. And so from that, it's like, oh, well, I guess Randy Moss kind of has a point, But that doesn't mean that Tyreek Hill's not great. He is. I mean, he put up one of the best all-time seasons we've seen, top 10 receiving yards season in 2023. But, then I also pointed this out in the piece, the year before, Justin Jefferson had more yards and 1,800 yards. And 2 years before, Cooper Kupp had the second most regular season yards of all time with over 1,900. He was very close to reaching Megatron's all-time single-season records. And again, that was in Megatron 16, Cooper Kupp 17, whatever. But it's interesting. Tyreek Hill, I think, is number 7 on the active list. Julio Jones is still on the active list, so you can really call him number 6 because Julio Jones hasn't really played. But Tyreek Hill's a great player. I don't know if he's still going to be that elite 1,500-yard guy. I mean, he played all 17 games last year, didn't have 1,000 yards. Part of that, obviously, quarterback situation with Miami. So we'll see if Tagovailoa can be healthy and yeet balls to him down the field all year. We don't know. But it's not like Tyreek Hill isn't coming up on the back 9 of his career, if not the back 4 or 5. Right. As a wide receiver, that speed starts to go. So I mean, I think he still has good years left, but what is he going to be record setting? Is he going to be able to crack into the top 15 all time and maybe top 10 in receiving yards when he's all said and done? I don't know that that's going to happen.
I mean, Moss had his biggest years when he was 30, 31, and 32. This is age 31 year for Tyreek Hill. I mean, I could see him playing 4 more years. I could see him getting 80 catches a year and maybe 1,300 a year with 10 touchdowns each season. That's probably lofty. Considering some of the off-the-field stuff. And I wasn't trying to be mean about what happened with AB, but he basically got fired by the league because he kind of lost it mentally. And Tyreek might find himself in a position where the league is like, sorry, bro, you got too many problems off the field. We can't deal with this anymore. But there also is the possibility that Tyreek Hill moves in the future and is actually with or in a situation like a Matt Stafford-like situation where his final years are actually with a really good quarterback. Don't know if that's going to happen.
No, you don't. I mean, we'll see. I mean, you talk about Matthew Stafford. That's a kingmaker, right? Between Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Megatron, right? Isn't that interesting that the top 2 single-season receiving yards of all time were both from the same quarterback? What does that tell you about Matthew Stafford, right? I mean, I think it says a lot. And, now that Devontae Adams is there, I'm really interested to see how that Rams offense, ends up being because, I mean, Matthew Stafford's a very good quarterback still. I think he's got a lot of ability. I think some of what they've done in the last couple of years has been limited by kind of a limited receiving core. Cooper Kupp hasn't been healthy the last couple of years. You didn't ask me about the Rams, but this is now what I'm thinking about, because you brought up Tyreek Hill and all that.
You're going in a good direction because I got some Ram stuff too, but keep going.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that the Rams are one of those teams that, to me, should be really, really good this year. Based on what we know about their offense, we'll see if their run game can progress. Their left tackle having blood clots and may or may not be available. That certainly does affect things. So we'll see how that ends up. But I think that, the Rams are one of those teams that I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I would say that they could be in the Final Four. I would bet on them to be in the Final Four this year in the NFC Championship game.
Myles Simmons with us. What do you think of what Jared Goff said, calling the Rams kind of immature and non-communicative when they dealt him? That they really didn't give him any idea that he was getting dealt, and he's seemed a little sass from it.
I mean, didn't give him any idea. I mean, Les Snead was saying in press conferences, Jared Goff is our quarterback right now. So, but the thing is, he's not wrong that, there was immaturity. Sean McVay has talked extensively about that he has regrets over how he handled things late in Jared Goff's tenure with the team. I mean, but, I understand that I haven't seen quarterback yet. I've been really busy, trying to get myself up to being the level of a national champion in college football 26 before training camp starting. I really have to work all day.
Put down the controller. You're missing primo Kirk Cousins love fest from Kirk.
Oh God. You know what's so funny, Steve? I didn't it didn't click to me that Kirk Cousins had also been on the first season of quarterback until I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait a minute, Kirk Cousins, we saw all this stuff. Is this new? And I was like, oh yeah, he was on both of these seasons. So I don't know. This is whatever. This is my vacation time, kind of, and I didn't really go on a real vacation this year. So it's I don't really want to watch something that is that much of my job on a day-to-day basis when I don't have to.
5 more days off. 5 more days off.
I know. So maybe I'll watch it next week, next couple weeks maybe. But I don't really want to watch.
I have a feeling you're going to watch the freaking FTC thing over anything NFL related. You're a college football guy now.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Listen, it was an interesting tenure at UNLV to start off the dynasty as offensive coordinator. Yeah. Okay, well, yes, it's true. It's true. And so, it's a couple years there. Things were starting to get rocky. It was saying safe for now or almost on the hot seat, almost on the hot seat in the dynasty, despite the fact that we won the Mountain West Conference both years, went to the college football playoff. I'm sorry, this competition's really tough. And it's my fault that, we've got all these little guys that are not big enough to compete against the big boys in the college football playoff? I don't know. So now we're at Colorado here in year 3 in the dynasty as offensive coordinator, and we'll see where things go. But things are going well right now at Colorado, Steve. So I don't know. Maybe we'll be a head coach next year. We'll see.
We'll get the full wrap